My husband had always been good at lying. Too good. Perhaps his charm was the kind that slipped past your defenses without you realizing it. A soft laugh, a hand brushing your shoulder, a practiced pause before he spoke your name. For years, I told myself his charisma was part of what made him magnetic, but what I should have recognized was how easily that same charm could be repurposed into deception. When he said he was going on a boys' trip, I didn't question it. The story was rehearsed so well. Plans made weeks in advance. The shared laughter between him and his so-called friends on speakerphone. The suitcase carelessly tossed in the trunk with the kind of careless ease men carry when they've done something 100 times before. I even kissed him goodbye at the door, convincing myself that the flicker of doubt pressing against my chest was nothing more than paranoia. But suspicion is a strange creature. It starts as a whisper, an itch you can ignore, and then it grows louder, demanding attention. Something in the way his eyes darted away when I asked for details. Something in the way his phone suddenly became his closest friend, clutched like a lifeline. Those were clues I could no longer bury under trust. I followed the trail, quietly, methodically. A quick check of his credit card statement. He always forgot I handled the bills. A charge for a luxury hotel in the city. That wasn't part of his trip. His boys were supposed to be camping 3 hours away. Then the reservation details. His name paired with another. My breath caught when I read it. Not a friend, not a buddy from work. His boss. She was older, powerful, the kind of woman who could make or break his career. I remembered the way he spoke about her, with reverence but also with something softer, hidden in the folds of his tone. I had brushed it off as admiration, never daring to consider what else might lurk beneath. I should have confronted him. I should have screamed, cried, demanded answers. But betrayal changes something inside you. It strips you of softness, calcifies your heart into something sharp. I didn't want answers. I wanted him to choke on his lies, to see the mirror of his deceit held so close that he couldn't look away. That's when the idea came to me. A friend of mine worked catering for that same hotel. A favor, a borrowed uniform, a tray in my hands, and suddenly I was invisible, just another staff member bustling through the hallways. The plan wasn't perfect, but revenge rarely is. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to cut deep enough to bleed. The elevator ride to the 12th floor was long, too long. My heart hammered against my ribs, but my face remained calm. Years of being the quiet, accommodating wife had taught me how to wear masks. The tray trembled only slightly in my grip, the silver dome over the plates gleaming with a finality that made my stomach twist. I knocked once. The door opened and it was him, my husband. His hair was damp from the shower, his shirt halfway buttoned, his tie undone in a way that screamed intimacy, not business. Behind him, she sat on the bed, silk robe tied loosely, a glass of wine in her hand. Her laughter died the moment she saw me. His eyes widened, first in confusion, then in horror. He couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't even summon the lies that had always been his armor. The silence that stretched between us was heavier than any scream. Room service, I said, my voice steady, almost casual. I set the tray down on the small table near the window, my hand precise, my movements deliberate. He watched me, waiting for the explosion, for the tears, for the begging. None came. Instead, I lifted the dome, revealing not food but the contents of my quiet investigation. Photographs, receipts, printouts of messages I had pulled from his hidden email account. Evidence of every lie, every stolen night, every whispered promise he thought I'd never hear. Her face paled. His lips parted, but no words came out. He reached for the papers, but I slapped his hand away with a calmness that terrified him. "Enjoy your trip," I whispered. My tone was low, controlled, as though I were delivering a benediction. But my eyes told him the truth, that this was not forgiveness, not a chance to explain. It was the end. I left the hotel without looking back, the echo of their silence chasing me down the corridor. The air outside felt different, sharper, cleaner, as though I had shed the weight of years in one single act of clarity. In the days that followed, I did not cry. I did not scream. I did not give him the satisfaction of witnessing my pain. Instead, I became surgical in my detachment. Bank account were separated, locks changed, his belongings boxed and set outside. He begged, of course. He wept, swore it meant nothing, swore I was the only one. But men like him always say that when the walls close in, what he didn't understand was that betrayal does not simply end love. It burns it to ash, leaving nothing left cling to. And from that ash, something new was born in me, an independence, a strength I had never allowed myself to claim. I had been his anchor, his confidant, his home. But the moment he chose lies over loyalty, I became something else entirely. I became the storm he never saw coming. And sometimes that is the sweetest revenge of all. Not the confrontation, not the tears, not even the carefully orchestrated reveal. It's the quiet exit, the refusal to play the role he wrote for me, the simple act of walking away with my head high while his world crumbles behind me. He thought he was clever, thought his betrayal would stay hidden in hotel rooms and whispered phone calls. But the truth is this: lies always surface. And when they do, sometimes they arrive not with fury or fire, but with the soft knock of room service, delivered by the woman who was never supposed to find out.